the Boglords and Fungal Giants in Zangarmarsh. Are a moderately requested mob to do on the 500 kill series, and I think I understand why. These dudes are pretty interesting, mostly for the reason that they can be herbed. The same way most mobs can be skinned, or most beast mobs can be skinned, these guys can actually be herbed by herbalists to, get really interesting herbs. Now, you can't actually level up your herbalism off them, but you can still pick them. Now, unfortunately, I am not an herbalist, so I will not be able to do that. But regardless, I've heard these guys do have a rather interesting drop table with things like the Motes of Life and unidentified plant parts. So either way, really looking forward to kill these guys. But first, we actually have one thing of business to handle. So on the last video, we did get 1,000 likes which is just unbelievable. Real quick, thank you so much for that. By far a record on pretty much any of my videos. 1,000 likes is super crazy. So I do owe you guys one final gigantic bag, and it did completely break the bank. I will have you know that it has put a financial strain on me for sure, but it is worth it because we now have 4 Harris Pilton gigantic bags. Look at that. All right, well, this character's pretty much complete, but if we can get to let's say if we can get to 1,000 likes again, I will I'll buy a weapon and I'll put a really nice enchant on it and give it to a lobby for the next video. And if you guys have any ideas for incentives like that, or like incentives, let me know in the comments below. But either way, let's get back to it. So anyway, without further ado, let's begin 500 kills on the Boglords and Fungal Giants here in Zangarmarsh. I really wasn't kidding though. I have like PTSD of Zangarmarsh ever since I did the Firefly farm. Absolutely brutal zone ever since then. So I do like Zangarmarsh a little bit, but too much can definitely be too much, But either way, for our first kill, we get nice 2 Motes of Life, fungus, and some plant parts. That is exactly what we want. Obviously, I'm not going to count these little mushrooms that just grow and blow up here, so don't worry about that. We'll just be doing the Giants and the Boglords. They're only level 63, right? So any level 70 class should be able to do this fairly quickly. I'm a fully PvP geared and PvP spec'd warrior right now. I probably would respec for this farm, but I have to cap out my 2 points. I've been out of town all week, so I haven't been able to play any arenas, and I really got to cap my arena points out. So if I wasn't doing that, I'd obviously be Fury for this, but I've already seen a couple mages here, like AoE farming these guys. I'm sure as a hunter or a lock, you can just chain everything down together. Like, I mean, look, there's a mage doing this right here. So, yeah. Don't remind me, I'm a warrior. It's rough out here compared to that, right? But I don't think any class, especially at 70, should struggle with cleaving these guys down. Alright, so 99 kills later. The Motes of Life are definitely good here. It's unfortunate that Motes of Life are like the least valuable mote, but yeah, it's still nice to obviously have a lot of them. I think we're going to get a ton of them, and that's going to be like the bulk of gold from this farm. I also forgot to mention that you get 15 rep every time you kill these guys, which is awesome if you eventually want to go for like the Sporagar mount or something. And you can also get these unidentified plant parts and these Boglord tendrils for even more rep, but we're probably going to end up selling these. But either way, lots of rep and lots of easy killing. It took me about 20 or 30 minutes of actual sitting down to kill these 100, and that's with just a ton of mages. Like, obviously, I mean, I guess it can be said about anything, right? But mages are going to be the kings of this farm for sure. So either way, for our 100th Boglord, we get some fungus and some plant parts. Beautiful. Alright, these guys kind of remind me of something out of like Pacific Rim. I also wanted to make note of because, like, I don't know, just giant monsters. I'm a sucker for giant monsters if you know me, right? But either way, let's crank it up and I will talk to you guys at 500 total kills. Alright guys, 499 kills later, and a bag full of like everything, honestly. The loot tables on these guys was much more surprising than I thought. Obviously we got a ton of Mode of Lives, we got a ton of these creeping moss grays, and also an insane amount of greens. Like the amount of greens on these guys really felt like humanoids, which I thought was kind of interesting. But either way, not too much to say about this spot. I just ended up doing circles around Quag Ridge here and getting a ton of Sporagar rep. I'm actually probably going to end up getting one of the Sporagar mounts just since I did this, you know. But either way, I'm starting to ramble. Let's go ahead. That thing just despawned right in front of me. Very nice. Sweet. Let's go ahead, pop Death Wish. No recklessness, it's on cooldown. And begin our 500th kill. Fungal Giant. Very nice. Big crit, and for our 500th Fungal Giant, we get nice 2 motes of life and a blighted fungus. So I can already tell if you have herbalism, this is an insanely good farm spot. Even if you're just like leveling an alt to grind or something, this definitely should be on your list of spots to grind, you know. But either way, I'll move all the loot and I will talk to you guys in Stormwind. Alright, so here we are in Stormwind, and looking at the kills here, you can see we have 320 of the Fungal Giants, 141 of the Boglords, 29 starving Fungal Giants, and 10 starving Boglords. These guys kind of spawned like in the eastern side of it, so that's why I focus most of the Boglords and the Fungal Giants. And even though we're not an herbalist, you can still see here we got an insane amount of loot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all these motes of lives into primals, because they actually sell more, and people don't scream at me in the comment sections when I do it. So we got 15 primal lives. Beautiful. I think primals are like the least valuable. I think primal lives are the least valuable of all the primals, but even still, super happy to have that. So on top of that, we got 1 living essence, 128 unidentified plant parts, 68 Boglord tendrils. I actually think these will sell for a lot, so I'm stoked on that. Sunrock mask, Feralfin sandals, Vindicator tunic, and then some jewelry. Nothing is too noticeable, honestly. I'll probably sell most of these for like 10 gold-ish. But looking at the vendorables, you can see we are at 0 gold because, well, they're giants. They didn't drop any raw gold, but when we vendor all the grays, we get up to, wow, 63 gold, 29 silver. These shoulder pads snuck through, but 63 gold is not bad, especially, again, considering the fact that, well, we're not herbalists. So no matter what this is, it'll be even more crazy with herbalism. So let's just get right into it. Obviously, we're going to start with the big ticket items. The Primal Life, they're selling at, only 9 gold each. I can actually do 949 for sure here. So we're getting 142 gold just off the Primal Lives. When you take into account how fast, like, it only took me about 2.5 hours to kill 500 of those guys. And honestly, there was a lot of competition. So if you take into account how fast and how easy that farm is, it's actually not that bad. It's just a shame that Primal Lives aren't as expensive as they were. But I actually think that can be said about most primals, so it's really no big deal. Unidentified plant parts. These are used for reputation. 7 silver each. That's alright, we'll take that. Boglord tendrils. 20 silver each. Not too bad. 1 living essence. Rings, I'm going to do these at 15 gold for the most part. Do 9 on that, because nature resistance isn't as useful as it once was. Do 19 on that. And I'll do 19 on that. And then our last 2 items. A leather helmet of defense. And then some plate, shoulders of strength. These are actually pretty nice. I can do 15. So, all in all, a pretty lucrative farm. I don't think you should do this farm without herbalism, I'll be honest. But my final thoughts would definitely be, this is not a horrible farm. Super chill, super easy. The mobs are super dense, and obviously, like every other farm, if you're a mage, it's probably even better, right? But that, I think, is going to do it for me for this farm. Don't forget to hit the Twitch link in the description. I'll leave the link up on screen now, too. Been doing a lot of chill arena streams and farming streams over there lately, so if you got a sec, be sure to go over there, drop it a follow. It really helps me out, and yeah, I'd love to see you hang out in the stream. So out of 10, I would give this farm a solid 7, probably an 8 if you are an herbalist, but I would love to see, I would love to know what you guys get if you are herbing out there. Let me know how that increases or decreases. Well, I guess it wouldn't decrease it, but let me know how herbalism-ing affects your gold per hour, but I'm really starting to ramble, so thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck on your farms. Real quick, I want to say thank you guys for 1,000 likes on the last video. If we get I don't know what I said earlier, but if we get to whatever I said earlier, I will buy a like a low-level sword, and I'll enchant it with Crusader or something and give it to a random lobby. So be sure to like the video, and yeah, I'm really starting to ramble. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Brock H. Good luck on your farms, and I will see you guys in the next one.